Got a little recording here by the late and great Roy Acuff. I don't know when this was written, but he wrote and recorded most of his greatest hits before 1950. My production manager should look it up and get a date on it for you. Roy Acuff was a country preacher, but he got into music, and he had to play in bars for a while and play some ride ballad songs to make some money. But when he got established on the Grand Ole Opry, he was known by many people as the grandpa of the Grand Ole Opry. And let's see, this is a hillbilly spiritual in the style of Roy Acuff, and only Roy Acuff could write them and sing them that well. Glory bound train, come and listen, won't you, brother? Have you heard or don't you know? There's a train that's bound for glory. Will you ride it when it goes? Has your ticket yet been purchased for that glory-bound train? Or will you ride that glory-bound train? Will you ride that glory-bound train? Will you ride that train to glory by and by? Have you made all preparations? Reservations all complete? When you hear that whistle blowing, will you be there at your seat? Has your ticket yet been purchased for that glory-bound train? Will you ride that glory-bound train? Will you ride that glory-bound train? Will you ride that train to glory by and by? Oh, the headlight will be gleaming. Jesus is the engineer. Will you ride his train to glory, or will he leave you here? Has your ticket yet been purchased for that glory-bound train? Will you ride that glory-bound train? Will you ride that glory-bound train? Will you ride that train to glory by and by? When its golden bell starts ringing, bringing on the golden coin, will you have your tickets ready when you hear that all aboard? Has your ticket yet been purchased for that glory-bound train? Will you ride that glory-bound train? Will you ride that glory-bound train? Will you ride that train to glory by and by? When you hear it in the distance, hear its mighty drivers roll. Just a little while to tarry, then we'll walk the streets of gold. Has your ticket yet been purchased for that glory-bound train? Oh, will you ride that glory-bound train? Will you ride that glory-bound train? Will you ride that train to glory by and by? Well, I kind of tried to imitate Roy a little bit on that one. Hope I didn't overdo it. He's got a relative that lives here in town called Acuff, and Scuff and his wife are musicians, and they do a lot of that folk and country themselves. Thank you very much.